Hey guys, Sanjay with Douglas Elliman coming at you with the July 2022 Coastal San Diego market update. Wanted to come on here and give my perspective as someone that's out there in the field, seeing what's going on, working with my clients, working through a lot of the things that we're seeing. And it tells a little bit of a different story than what some of the headlines, the slowing market, cooling market, rates are spiking. We're seeing a lot of these headlines, but what we're seeing actually happening in the market and what we're seeing the data tell us is a little bit of a different story, right? So I'm gonna get into this as someone that's worked with a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers, especially moving into this new market. I wanted to give my perspective on both sides. So if you're a buyer, I know it can be a little scary right now. I know that monthly payment looks like it's ticking up. I know rates have gone up. I know you're probably looking at a different price point than you were looking at 2-3 months ago. But that is just sort of the new reality that we are in. The good news for you as a buyer is that there is more inventory, right? Inventory is slowly ticking up, especially here in San Diego. We are seeing more homes hit the market. So for you buyers, that means less competition. If you've been a buyer in the last 2 years, you know that it has been incredibly tough, almost irregardless of price point, to secure the home that you are going after. There's been tons of multiple offers. There's been crazy prices going over ask. And it's been difficult. I know I've worked with probably 15 buyers in the last year and it's been insane. So buyers, less competition, more homes on the market. I know it can be a little daunting to look at what it's costing, but go for it, go after it. Find a home that you really, really love. And there's a saying, it says, marry the home and date the rate. So what does that mean? That means if you find a home that you love, which is difficult, right? Especially with this still limited inventory. We're only at 45 to 50% of what a normal inventory would look like, pre-pandemic. So I know it's difficult to find the home that you really like. So if you find that and the rate is maybe not as good as it would have been a year ago, I'll say this, like I said, date the rate, right? If you secure the rate you're at today and rates go up, you're gonna feel like a genius that you purchased and that you locked in that low rate. If rates go down, you always have the opportunity to refinance at some point to a lower rate. So I wouldn't worry too much about the rate. I would worry more about getting and securing the home that you want, right? Obviously, within your means, don't do any crazy things to try to do that. But if it makes sense, it makes sense. And we'd love to talk to you some more about that. But there are more opportunities coming, especially buyers. If you're willing to do some work and you're willing to maybe do painting and some landscaping and fixing a home up, there are a lot of what I like to call mediocre inventory homes on the market and coming to market. These are homes somewhere between a fixer and a flip that need some love. And if you're willing to do that, these are the homes that are spending 45, 50, 60 plus days on market. These are the homes that you have an opportunity to go into, put some sweat equity into, and financially it's going to work out very, very well for you in the long run. Sellers, what does this new market look like for you? I know the last 2 years, if you've sold or if you've been thinking of selling, it's been pretty exciting to look at and say, I can almost ask anything that I want for my home within reason, and I'm probably gonna get it just because there's been such a crazy, crazy influx of buyer demand. Now that has obviously changed, right? Buyer demand has dropped as interest rates have gone up. There are less buyers. Buyers are able to purchase less home. Their purchasing power has decreased. So for a seller, what does this mean, right? This means you have to do two things. One, you have to do the work to differentiate your home from the other inventory, right? Like I said, inventory is on the rise slowly, but it's getting there. You are not going to be the only home in your neighborhood on the market anymore, right? There are exceptions to that, but generally you are going to have some level of competition for your home now. So what do you have to do? Like I said, two things. One, you have to do the work. That means painting, staging, landscaping. You have to do the things that are gonna make the home look pretty, that are gonna pay off in the mind of a buyer, right? Buyers now, with how expensive it is to buy, they are very, very wary and they're very, very particular about what they're looking for and what they will spend their money on, right? So the second thing is to price your property appropriately, right? We have a lot of sellers that are still pricing or wanting to price their homes at 2020 and 2021 levels, right? That is not the market that we're in anymore. We are in 2022. So moving into the latter half of 2022 and 2023, it's incredibly important that you shift the mindset from basically trying to get the highest comp plus 10%, 15%, which has been what is happening the last 2 years, and it's been insane for sellers, right? Now, if you want your home to sell quickly and not spend 2-3 months on the market, you want to price your property appropriately at market value to basically ensure that you are going to get the number of eyes on your property necessary for it to sell. We're seeing a lot of price cuts. We're seeing a lot of price reductions. We're seeing homes spend 60, 90 days on market because they don't price appropriately out the gate, and it's hurting them in the long run, both financially wise and then also your timeline wise, as far as your home sitting on the market. So those two things: take care of the home, do the necessary work, and price appropriately. And like I said, we are in the field, we're working every single day. If you have questions about what the market looks like now versus 2 years ago, what that means for you and your particular home or neighborhood, feel free to call us, feel free to shoot us a text. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to give you sort of an in-depth synopsis of what that looks like for your personal situation. But that's where we're at in the market right now. Buyers, a lot of opportunity. Sellers, do the right things to differentiate your home from the other inventory that we're seeing and that we're going to continue to see come on market here as we work our way through summer.